Hey there, folks. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today, we're going to talk about how to create multiple streams of income with one software. That software is Thinkific. For those of you who are here with me live, welcome. We're going to do some Q&A toward the end, and this can help you after I go over the teachings, it can help you put it in your own personal practice. So if you're watching this live or if you're watching the recording, the Q&A is really the section or the part that really helps make things a little bit more concrete. Okay, so thank you everyone who is here. I love all the Morocco. Yes, love that. All right, let's get into the content. I'm gonna try to breeze through this relatively quickly because I want to answer your questions. If you're just now joining me, if you can put a Q in the chat box for questions so I know that it's a question versus you communicating with other people in the stream. So let's go ahead and get into this. So let's first start with what Thinkific is. So if you haven't heard of Thinkific before, it's basically a learning management software. And it's more so for course creation, online course creation. And it does that job very, very, very well, right? But if you can think outside the box, I want you to think about other ways that you can use this software in your business, okay? So full disclosure, Thinkific is not a cheap software. It runs about, they have a free version, but for you to do what you needed to do, it can run anywhere from $100 to $150 a month. So that's not cheap. So with that being said, you need to think about other ways that you could potentially use this software so that you can get your money's worth in addition to add a higher value onto the services that you're already working on. So in this presentation, we're going to talk about these couple ways in which you can add these streams to your business, and then I'll elaborate on it, okay? So the first one is consulting, virtual events, membership websites, day challenges, affiliate marketing, group consulting, online community, digital downloads, and workshops. So let's talk about what that means. So for consulting, so many of you know that I tell you, if you want to make online income, going to consulting into the area that you are already educated on is going to be your easiest and best bet, okay? Because if you know how to do something, if you've gotten substantial amount of education, you know how to do something. And there is an audience that wants to know how to do that, and you can consult them through that process, right? So what typically happens in the consulting relationship now, if it's done online, you get yourself on a meeting software or on the phone and you guide your client through the process or through the steps to get them the result at the end, right? Now, if you had a platform, i.e. Thinkific, in which you could upload various resources for your client. So you're not just talking to them, you're giving them PDFs, you're giving them maybe some videos, some templates, whatever it is to help them, then you can add more on how much it costs to consult with you, but you also get a better value add for your customer. So think about that. How's additional resources for your client in this area as you consult with them? It will accept payment. It will give them their passcode and everything so they can log in. So you're giving them the consulting services in addition to having them have this platform where they can get more resources. That means you can increase your prices. And it helps with customer satisfaction because you're giving them more. Also, you can monitor their milestones and their successes. So often when you're consulting people, I run into this a lot, that you tell them what they need to do, and then they don't go do it. So if you set up your consulting in this way, you can have various milestones with the individuals that you're consulting. And what that does, it again helps increase the value, but it shows your customer that you genuinely care about their success. And they don't have to feel like they just gave you money and they won't have a result at the end. You are showing them the process to their result in addition to communicating them weekly or monthly or however you do that. So I want you to really consider how you can add the value on that. So doing consulting, all right, virtual events. So let's talk about the virtual events. So virtual events, y'all know I love me a good virtual event, a good workshop, a good something where I can get on the internet and teach something and keep it moving, right? So if you follow this brand throughout creation, virtual events are the things that I really want people to consider. But when you do these, you typically need it in a platform. You need to be able to host, whether you're doing live or whether you're doing recording, you need something to hold the software, to hold the video, to register people, to take their payment. And you can use a software like Thinkific to do that. If you already have Thinkific, you just really need to create another course or summit so that you can charge the people and get them into a password protected place, right? So when I did the Moving Abroad Summit a couple of years ago, I used Kartra, which was a terrible experience. So I would never do that again. But I needed a place to upload videos, give people access and their password. Because at the time, I didn't even have a website. Okay. So when I launched the Driven Spice, I did not have a website. And even in your case, if you don't have a website, you can use a platform like Thinkific so that you can have your website and start to make money from your intellectual property. So with the virtual Moving Abroad Summit, I created it because people were asking me questions and I did not have the answers. Okay. All I knew was about moving to Portugal. And at the time I had just done that. So I didn't know what I was doing. So I found people in this space who had already done it to give a more diverse level of insight. So I want you to really think about how you can do that in your current industry. Don't feel like you have to be the one responsible for producing all the content. You can be the one who finds all the brilliant people in this space and then get them together. And now you can create something helpful for your audience. So think about that in your industry. And we'll talk about that further in Q&A. But that is also how you can raise the income level, your streams of income, by creating these virtual events. And it doesn't have to be a summit. It could be a workshop. Y'all know I love me a good workshop. It could be a variety of things in which you charge people an entrance fee. Thinkific will accept the payment. It will lock it down so that people who paid for it will actually have access to the content. And then if you're doing it live, you can just house the recording in the software. So we're talking about consulting so far, and we've talked about virtual events. Now, we're going to talk about a lot. Don't feel like you have to do them all at the same time. Just think about the ones that are easy for you personally, and then you can grow from there. Okay, so where are we? Did virtual events. Speaking of virtual event, yours truly, will be speaking at Thinkific's Think in Color event. So if you're interested in that, it's absolutely free. You can register. The link is in the description. It's July 27th, and it's basically going to be a bunch of speakers, which you'll see on the website, that are helping creators learn how to monetize their insight and input for a fee so they can create income. So definitely check it out. I'll be speaking on how to outline the perfect course. And so links in the description if you're interested in attending that. But also want to show you Thinkific is doing a virtual summit using their software. So consider in your industry, what can you do virtually that you can use the software? You charge people a fee for the value you're going to give in this virtual event. And the great thing about virtual events, especially for my fellow introverts, you can deliver the content and close your laptop and go back to not seeing people. Is that just me? Virtual events are awesome. So let's go into membership sites. So I want you to think about what it is that you do. And toward the end of this, I want you to tell me what some of your industries are so that I can help you kind of brainstorm what you can do far as a membership site. When you think about your service or the product that you offer, typically when you give the service, that's it. But the great thing about membership sites, if you have this in addition to your business, some people have it as their business. Think about what you can give someone, what value could you give someone monthly so that this is reoccurring revenue. So when you have a business and you have one service, once they pay for that service, so they go through that process, it's it. But if you have something that has reoccurring revenue, you know that you have that amount coming in every month. And it's really important to put an aspect of your business into that. So the question is, what value are you going to give every month in order for someone to feel like that it is worth being with you? This is basically the subscription service. And if you are part of Netflix, if you have a cell phone plan, if you have anything, everything is part of the subscription service. So in your business, you want to start to incorporate a subscription model. Now, Thinkific will allow you to do that, and I'll show you the back end in a second. So it would accept the payment. It creates the membership bundles. It does a variety of those things. You just have to decide in your industry, what does your audience want? So let's look at this. So let's say you wanted to charge $35 a month for whatever service you're going to provide. even if you only have 50 people sign up, that's $1,750 a month, which over the course of 12 months, that's an extra $21,000 for your business. Now, $35, not a lot of money. 50 people, not a lot of people. So I want you to write down and brainstorm tonight. What value could you give to your audience that at least has a $35 value that you could provide every month? Now, if you are have some type of expertise, you can come on live or come on Zoom once a month, answer people's questions so they can get the goal and the results that they need in their life based on the industry. If you can do that, you could easily charge $35. You could probably charge more like hundreds, depending on who your audience is. But I really want you to consider how you can add yet this other stream of income to your business. So membership sites is wonderful. And yes, you can do that with Thinkific. Okay, my 7-day, 30-day, 90-day challenges. These are wonderful ways to re-energize your audience. So 7-day challenges, 30-day challenges, 90-day challenge. That means at the end of this challenge, your audience is going to have a result of some kind. All right, so let's say you're doing a weight loss, a 7-day to a 90-day weight loss. So at the end of it, they will have a result. So you can house, again, Thinkific will accept the payment. It will house the learning platform and all of those things. And you just put the resources and the information for someone to succeed based on what you're saying they can get at the end of this challenge. So challenges are great because it's not as overwhelming. No one wants to be in a class or something for 50 years. They want to feel like they're going to get a result, and people will pay to get a result faster. So in your industry, I want you to think about the things that you know that you could produce a result for your client in 7 days, in 30 days, in 90 days. Okay, these could be short bursts of content and information that could supplement what you do all the time. Does that make sense? Okay, so I love me a day challenge. Okay, so where are we? We are at the affiliate. Now, if you don't know what affiliate program is, I'm not going to spend too much time with that, but basically it's a referral program. So if you refer someone to a particular product or service, they give you a commission. So full disclosure, I am a partner of Thinkific. And when I refer people to Thinkific, I get a commission. So there's a link in the description if anybody wants to try out Thinkific, no pressure. But my best thing or my favorite thing is software affiliates, okay? Because you are able to get recurring income a lot of times, and it doesn't take much from you. So I become partners of softwares that I use in my business because I know how to tell my client how to use it effectively for their business. So think about anything that you are interested in, the benefit of adding more to the affiliate program. So this is what I should do. It's not what I do, but if, let's say I was doing the affiliate program for Thinkific, for my audience, they may use it differently than traditional audiences of who would just do course creation. So let's say I wanted to help you create everything we just talked about. I would, but I haven't, but I should, create videos and tutorials so that you can understand what you need to do and know how to get started. Right? Because ultimately, if someone sticks with software or the service, you continue to provide value to the client, but you also continue to get the money. Okay? So think about how can you onboard the process so your client is more likely to stay with the service. Does that make sense? So is there affiliate software that you know of, that you like, that you're signed up for? I'm saying software because I'm biased. I like software, but affiliate programs come in everything. They are in clothing, they are in travel, they are in hotels. There are affiliate programs associated with literally every industry that exists. So all you have to do is, based on your industry, find out what affiliate programs exist. And with that, you can use a software like Thinkific to onboard the affiliates so that they feel better about the process or the software and know how to better use it so that there's longevity there. Did that make sense? It made sense in my head. I don't know how well I did conveying it. So that's affiliate. So now let's talk about group consulting. And so group consulting is going to be very similar to when you do individual consulting. But let's say you don't have time to meet with people individually and you only have time to meet them in a group. The software will, again, allow you to accept payment, allow you to upload content, allow you to meet with this group. And you can do it, of course, without the software, but it comes to a point that you're going to want to have the recordings available when you're consulting. And it's going to be an additional fee from some web hosting company that hosts video. Okay. If people are paying for your services, you don't want to host video on YouTube, a free platform. You want to pay for a video service. But the benefit of using a software like Thinkific is that is included in the fee. So you don't have to go and pay for another software. So I want you to see how, if you just kind of open your imagination of various ways you can use it other than course creation, then you can easily get your money back with the first client. So with group consulting, let's say you have $100 per person per month. You can easily multiply that and only have to show up once a week or twice a week, or however you decide to do your group consulting. Remember, at the end of the day, you need to make sure that you give a result to your client. And if you can do that in a group setting, great. And if you are just starting out, sometimes group consulting is a lot easier, and then you can easily upgrade people to the individual consulting because they may want to just focus on their own business and they may need some personal time. So consider that group consulting is wonderful, and it's a way of kind of creating that reoccurring revenue that we talked about even in membership and affiliate marketing. So let's talk about online communities. All right. Now, Facebook has Facebook groups, Instagram has Instagram groups, but you need to know that Facebook is a Meta. I guess I got to stop calling them Facebook. Meta will limit your reach if they want to, okay? But anybody can do that, okay? Understand that you're building a platform and an audience on software you do not own. Okay, so as much as people want to go to Facebook groups, I get it. It's easy, but you don't own that group. Facebook can lock you out. It could say you violate terms of service. It can limit the amount of people that see your content in the group that you created. So I'm gonna show you in a bit. You can create communities inside Thinkific, and you can have unlimited communities if you want. Okay, so why is that different? You don't own Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You don't own any of those things. And so you want to take people off of those platforms and bring them into something you own. Now, a lot of times that's going to be your email marketing software, but you can also create a community. So you can create an online community where people can post, and it can be independent of you. Okay? Because in order for communities to stay engaging, people need to talk, people need to communicate. And so the larger your community, they can do that themselves. But you want to own the actual software and be able to get the email addresses and the contact information from the audience that you built yourself, okay? So usually that's done on Facebook and Instagram and various Discord. People have them all over the place, but they don't own the information. When you create when you create a community on these platforms, Facebook owns the information, not you. So when Facebook wants to limit you or anything, you really don't have anything to go upon. And so you just have to do it. So I would encourage you to look at Thinkific as a good way to create a community on whatever your industry is. And I'll show you that in a bit. Actually, I'll show you that right now. Okay, so this is just an example of one of the communities I created. Many of you know we have a Portuguese language group. And so this is where we all kind of like added our own cheat sheets and things that helped us in regards to the language. And that's one of the communities that's inside that I use for Thinkific. But I want you to think about like other ways in which you can use a community. If you are a football coach, or if you are into yoga, or if you are a financial person, you can create these communities where people of like-mindedness can come together online and get more information. Now, you can charge for that community if you want to, or you can make it an additional service of all of the other services that we're talked about. If you're talking about consulting, virtual events, membership, you can make that community an additional service, or you can just say, all I want for it is the community, and you could charge for your community. So think about ways that you can employ that in your own business, okay? All right, so let's talk about workshops. I love a good workshop. I usually do a workshop once a month because I love them. And what I do specifically is I do the workshop live and then I come on Thinkific and I will sell the recording. Okay, so you can see some of that here. And the benefit of workshops, let's talk briefly about that because I love a workshop. Usually my workshops are 90 minutes. I'm giving a customer a quick win. I am showing them how to do something. I am giving them the software to show them how to do it. And at the end of it, if they go through the steps, they have something. So workshops are wonderful. They're not overwhelming. Sometimes creating a course just seems like I can't, okay? So the great thing about a workshop is that you come, you teach the information, and it's over. Now, you don't stop making money off of that workshop though, because that content is still necessary. People still need it. They may not necessarily need it live. So you take that recording and now you use that same recording and now you sell that recording. And I upload my recordings into Thinkific and that is where I sell that and that just stays on my website. That's another revenue stream for my business, okay? Workshops, I'm obsessed with them. I love them. Get into it. All right, so the last one, and then we'll do your questions, are digital downloads. So when you think about digital downloads, I want you to think about your ebooks, your templates, your worksheets, your audios, your videos, anything that you have that you can sell it on the platform of Thinkific. So again, we talked about video hosting. So if you have like a video course, you would typically have to pay for hosting to hold that big file. So if you're already using Thinkific, go ahead and create your digital downloads for the things that you can sell to your customers. And these can be, templates are great. If it's anything that can help the overall goal of your customer, go ahead and sell it. Okay, so any type of digital downloads, templates, things that you're considering, go ahead and sell that on Thinkific in addition to all of your course creation and your consulting and your virtual events, right? I hope this is making sense and you're starting to think outside the box as it relates to ways in which you can monetize, okay? So right now we're going to go into questions. I'm committed to stay here as long as you need me, I think. Yeah, I don't have anything going on this evening. So we're going to go to questions, and most of the time I prefer when I can hear your voice so I know what your questions are. But we don't have that many questions today, so that's good. If you have any questions, just go ahead and throw them in. We're not hugely crowded today, so let's talk about this. Well, okay, say yes to your dreams. Use both free and paid. Currently, okay. All right, folks, if you have your questions, I'm here from you. Greetings from Morocco. How are you? Florida in the house. Hello, hello. Hey, James. Okay. Good morning. Okay, do I not have any questions? Yes, Kimberly, how are you, love? Yes, virtual events are amazing. Please get into it. Kimberly does financial information, and I'm waiting for her to give her content so I can share it with you all because she is super dope. Healthcare. Hey there, love. You says, I'm in healthcare in the U.S. You want to give me a question, love, and I can try to help you out. Hello to you and everyone from Memphis. Hey, Memphis. Following it for 2 years. Plan to move. Okay, thank you so much. Marguerite, I appreciate it. And a longtime music journalist who has no idea how to monetize my expertise as an interviewer and writer. Okay, great question. The rock and roll cook. I love that. Okay, so I take it you cook. So then the question is, what service is it that you want to monetize? So journalist who has no idea how to monetize my expertise. So first you have to think of your audience as to who you want your audience to be. Who can you help, right? And so I'm not sure if you want to show people how to secure interviews, if you want to show them how to become a writer, or if you want to show them how to be a cook. So if you're still here with me, let me know that. So let's say you want to help writers secure more interviews. There obviously is a process for that. And are the interviews based on whatever industry that you're in? People who want to write for magazines have no god-awful idea how to do it. I don't know how to do it. Do I go look for the editor and find out what they need or network with them, find them on LinkedIn? What do you do? Okay. So, and this is a really good question, guys, because a lot of you have this expertise and you got to get out your head to remember the moment when you were doing it for the first time. When you were doing this for the first time, you had no idea how to do the basics. So let's start with the basics. How do you secure an interview when you're trying to be a writer? You know how many people want that? Especially those who are trying to live abroad, honey. They are all trying to get writing jobs. So find out how you can be of service in that way and provide the value in the content so that your audience finds you, make it searchable, so that your audience finds you, and then your audience will tell you where they're struggling. You'll start to hear the same questions over and over again. And that will tell you, okay, clearly I need to work on this. Like when I did the Moving Abroad Summit, it was because people were asking me questions I could not answer. And I was like, well, can I just find you people who could answer it and just do it that way? And that's what it did. Any workshop I've created, any course I've created, is because I kept hearing the questions. So I hope that makes sense. You have the expertise, but you need to determine who your audience is going to be, and then what that audience need. What is that audience problem, and how can your expertise help solve it? Okay? Hope that makes sense. So, hey there. Oh, you know what? I also got a question from... Oh, shoot, I closed my email. I don't remember who it's from. But the question was, what is the process for building and engaging an audience in order to sell to? Great question, right? Because technically everybody wants to know that, right? What strategies do you use to sell your digital projects? So I'm assuming she met me personally. So let me break this question down and listen up. Okay, first question. What is the process for building and engaging an audience in order to sell to? I want you to think about selling to them last, okay? Because what ends up happening is people are so obsessed with getting the money that they don't even think about the value that they're going to give to the client, so that no one's interested in working with them in the first place. What I want you to focus on, everybody who is hearing my voice, I want you to determine your audience, and I want you to determine how you're going to give value to that audience. Because what ends up happening when you give value to the audience, you make yourself an industry expert, because you're showing them that you know what you're talking about and what you're doing. So many people don't show their customers that they can do that. Don't show their customers that they'll be a benefit to their life. Don't show their customers they even know how to do it, yet you want somebody's money. How does that even work? It doesn't work that way. So you want to show how you can be valuable to the audience in which you want to serve. Then the money comes. I know it sounds cliche, but it's true. Nobody wants to hear that, but it really is true. So if you do not engage with that audience, find out what they need, find out what their problems are, how are you going to be able to sell to them? So that is where you need to start. Okay, you need to start with determining who you want to talk to. Also, finding out what that audience searches for helps as well. So if you're creating content that's specifically what that audience would search for, then that's how the various algorithms can push you in the direction of your ideal client as well. But ultimately, all of it is content. All of it is, how can I show you that I know what I'm talking about? You're watching me now. This is content. If you've been rocking with me for a while, you've seen other content that I showed you that I could probably do something, right? So you have to do that. You have to show people that you know what you're doing, so that when it comes to people who want to work with you, they get why you cost this amount of money. But you want to sell to a stranger. You hadn't warmed the audience. You haven't showed them you know what you're doing. Why are they going to give you their hard-earned money? It's not going to work like that. So again, the process is for building your engagement is to create content that is relevant to the audience in which you want to serve. Okay, so that's first. Continue to create content for them. Engage with that community. Find out what they need. You see right here, we have comments and people are asking me questions. They're telling me what they need. If I never engaged with the audience, I wouldn't be able to see that. You follow what I'm saying? So I want you to literally, like I'm showing you in real time how this works. But if you never created a content, if I never put up a video, if I never did any of that, no one would know I exist. So if no one knows you exist, yet you want to get some money, it's going to be real hard. Okay? So I need you to get out there. What strategies do I use to sell my digital products? I'm assuming she met me personally, so I'm going to tell you what I do. Strategies I use. The main strategy I use is I put content out there based on what I know how to do. I know how to do digital marketing. I do it for my clients. I do not talk about how to train bears. I don't know how to do that. I don't talk about how to bake cakes. I don't know how to do that. I talk about what I know how to do, and I base it off of the audience that I work with. So my audience are typically people who want to live abroad, people who want to live in Portugal, people who want a location independent life. So if you want a location independent life, having a digital income will better help you do that than having to be stressed that a company may fire you when they learn that you over here living in Rwanda somewhere. Okay. So establishing digital income is important. So that I know how to do. So that is what I teach on. So when I do free content like this, right, or the other free content I've created, sometimes people may contact me directly, say they want to work with me directly. Sometimes I may do a workshop and that people may be interested. So that is how I create the digital products and sell the digital products. I create value in the marketplace first. And then for those who want to take it to another level, those who want to work with me personally, or those whoever, whatever, then they come to me. It's just a natural process. But I'm here. Nobody's paying to be here, but I'm going to give you the content that can hopefully help so that maybe someone's not ready right now to do whatever with their business. But when they are, they may think of me. You follow what I'm saying? So you put the content and the value out there into the marketplace, and then those are the strategies. Now, in regards to where I put the digital products, like I said, I use 9 softwares in my business. The ones I use the most, of course, is Thinkific, and the other one is my scheduling software. The scheduling software is critical, particularly if you live abroad. Okay, this will help you stay on top of the various time zones. And when you're consulting. So if you're consulting and you don't have a scheduling software where someone can just pay to work with you, you are making life hard. So I hope I answered that question. I know I got off on a tangent, but that is what I do. I'm a beginner, so not quite sure how Thinkific can be used in this industry. I don't know what this industry is, hun. So you have to be more specific of what industry you're talking about. How do I monetize my expertise as I just read that question. Sorry. Ha ha ha. Thanks, as a writer and interviewer are where my expertise lies. Okay, so your expertise lies as an interviewer and writer. Okay, so what type of interview are you? Are you writing for magazines? Are you writing for corporate websites? Who are you writing for? Because understand, the person who wants to write for a magazine is different than the person who wants to write to interview for documentaries. 2 separate people. Okay, so you still have to get more specific because you got to market to those people differently. All right, so I encourage you to do that a little bit more. I'm a clinical herbologist. I wonder, how can I monetize my skills? I want to focus on my community, the Black community, because I know we tend to not trust doctors. Okay. All right. So, clinical herbalist. Okay. I like that. I want to focus on my community. Okay. So do you have any, this is Miss Simmons. Do you have content right now that is showing the benefits of various herbal treatment? Does it exist? Do you have it? If you don't, create it. Because the process of what you're doing, people don't naturally know about your field and how this could potentially save them and help them. So you have to educate them on it first. If you have no content showing how this could be beneficial or what people can do based on what circumstances, then how are they going to know about you, love? So talk to me. Let me know if you have some content. Okay, do you think it's better in terms of revenue to offer a series of workshops with some sort of ongoing community versus putting all the info and community into one online course? Whew, hold on. Do you think it's better? I got to read stuff 50 billion times, y'all. I'm sorry. I should be bringing the questions online, right? Let me go back. See, I'm sorry, y'all. I haven't been live in a minute, so I forgot how to do this. Okay. All right, there. Oh, look at that beautiful face. Yes. Okay. Do you think it's better in terms of revenue to offer a series of workshops with some sort of ongoing community versus putting all the info and community in one online course? So, whatever works for your audience, to be honest. So for me, when we did the language workshop, I offered the community because people were moving from wherever they were to Portugal, and I wanted people to be able to make friends and talk and whatever, right? But in my other workshops, I don't offer a community. You know what I mean? So there's no there it just depends on what you're doing and if you feel like that would be helpful. Like, don't overwhelm your people. Okay, you definitely don't want to be in a situation where it's just too much going on and can't nobody figure out where they're supposed to be. If you're doing a workshop, the thing I like about the workshops is they're quick, they're easy, they're over with. So sometimes that's all they want. You know what I mean? So if it's a workshop, just give them what they ask for and keep it moving. If it's a situation where they need a community, then give them a community. I mean, the reason why I gave people a community when it came to the language class, because people were moving to a country and I wanted people to make friends. So therefore, a community made sense to me. Not saying it makes sense for you. So to me, it made sense to create that course with a community, right? And then people wanted study groups. I mean, you're learning Portuguese, you want to speak to people who, you know what I mean? So that is why the community was created. But on my workshops, I don't have a community with them at all. So did that help, Kim? Okay, let's see. Because I did it wrong again. Because why can't I get my life together? I'm supposed to, there we go. Okay. I suppose, let's see. I suppose I could teach how to make plant medicine, but would they pay for that? Here's the thing. Stop worrying about people paying you right now. Like, if you have no content, no audience, you didn't show nobody you know what you're doing, you worried about the wrong thing. You need to worry about being valuable first. Once you're valuable and that's clear and you convey that, then you figure out how to monetize it. Because here's what I don't want you to do. A lot of people, when they're doing course creation and they're, they'll go on a workshop, never talk to not one employee, potential customer. And they go in a hole and they make this class or workshop, right? But they never talk to anybody. So now, or built the audience. So now when it's time to release it, nobody is buying it. I've done that. I've made that mistake before because I put the money in the course and what I thought people wanted first and never communicated with the audience. I don't do that anymore. I haven't done that in at least a decade. So I'm telling you what works. Now, if you are a fellow introvert, you are going to not want to do this. You are going to want to be in a hole somewhere, creating course and not communicate because you don't really want to talk to anybody. But it's hard to do that with the online business. There are some introvert-esque ways you could do, okay? But not communicating with your audience isn't one of them, okay? So the thing about creating content is you'll start to see what sticks. All right. So you'll see that maybe this had more views or this had less views or you got more comments on this or you had more questions on that. If you never create content, you don't get to get that feedback. So when people were so concerned about making the money, they've never tested anything. They never tested to see what type of content registers with the audience. That's one of the benefits of creating content. I can look at some and say, my audience wasn't feeling that. Or my audience asked a lot of questions on this. Maybe I need to consider making this a product. But if you never talk to them, you are worried about the wrong thing. Does that, y'all follow me? You're getting it? Okay, that was me. I need to get my content out there. Kimberly, we've been talking for a minute. You know your content need to be out there. How would you advise on learning digital marketing? That's a very good question. Okay, let's talk about this. So understand digital marketing is a very broad term, right? So digital marketing can include email marketing. It can include SEO. It can include SEM. It can include just so many aspects, right? So you need to figure out what aspect you want to know for your business. If you're just starting out, I would recommend that you concentrate on email marketing. Email marketing is going to be the most effective and cost-effective thing that you can do, okay? You don't even need to have a website. You're going to need an email marketing software, but you don't even need a website. So if you are building your audience on your social channels or your various distribution channels, your YouTubes, your Instagrams, your Facebooks, whatever. You need to take people off of that platform and bring them back to something you own, which is your email marketing software. Okay? This way, you are in people's inbox and you can ask them what they need. If any of you are on my list, which I didn't even put the link to my list in the description, but if you are on my list, you get emails from me. I ask you, where are you struggling? When I'm going to go live, I ask you, do you have questions? So I can answer them when I go live. I communicate with you. Okay? So I could do that even if I didn't have a website. I don't even really use my website. I use my email marketing software and I use Thinkific. Okay? So you can't say, I don't have the money to invest in a website, because you don't need money to invest in a website, but you are going to need money for software. Start off with understanding email marketing. Now, once you start creating content, you will naturally start to notice some aspects, or maybe how the algorithm works when you put out this versus you putting out that. Because here's the thing, some things you just won't learn until you do it. Just like if you read a book on how to drive a car, it is nothing like driving a car, okay? So start to put the content out there, and then you'll start to see certain behaviors, certain reactions that you can see with your own eyes. But if you're talking about digital marketing in general, I would say start with email marketing and then find your distribution channel. So where are you going to put content so that people find you? And then when you put the content out so that people find you, what are you doing to make them give you their email address so now y'all can have a conversation? Now that you can start talking and communicate with them. I hope that's helpful. Okay, afraid of overwhelming people. Yes, you don't overwhelm people. And that's what I say, guys, I know I gotta slide with that. Not overwhelming. I'm talking about how to outline for your course at the Thinkific Think in Color event on July 27th. So if you're interested in that, check it out. It's free. So yeah. All right. Let me get you more questions. All right. Do we not have any more questions? Make the content engage with your community. Analyze the connects. Absolutely. You are perfectly correct. I think we did that, guys. Oh God, I'm glad that was helpful. All right. So just to recap, real quick, we're using one software to do consulting, virtual events, membership website, day challenges, affiliate marketing, group consulting, online community, digital downloads, and workshops. Do not try to do all this at once. Okay? Don't do it. Think about in your business, is there one or two that you can add to your business so you can make multiple streams of income with your business? In your current business, could you create a virtual event? If you're already consulting, could you add a membership? Could you add an online community? Could you give some templates and some downloads to your audience that would be helpful? Okay? Creating value is going to be the name of the game here, folks. Determine who your audience is and then give them value so that they know that they can come to you when they need it, okay? They'll start to ask you questions. They're going to be the same questions over and over again. And that will trigger you to say, it seems like people are having problems with this. Maybe based on my expertise, I can help them by doing this, okay? All right, okay, so thank you. So what software do I use to create? I get that question a lot. So, but here's the thing. I don't want you all to get caught up in the shiny object. So understand I've been doing this for years. I use, sometimes I use Canva. I use Keynote often, OBS, and what else is running? Because my computer's over here. Sound like it's having an asthma attack. I think that's all I got up right now. All of those are softwares you'll have to learn, okay? If you already know how to use it, great. But if you don't, I would prefer that you create content because you already know content. And no one's going to say, I don't want to work with her because I don't like her website. Or, I don't want to work with her because I don't like the way her logo looks. No one determines if they're going to buy, unless you're a graphic design artist and something like that. Okay, so if you could, I want y'all to stay focused and I want you to concentrate on the content. What you say and what you teach will far outweigh what it looks like. Okay? So, all right. Oh, we got some people coming in. We got some questions. Okay, I'm gonna stick around. What we got? All right. But thank you, Miss Simmons. I appreciate that. Introvert. Hey there. I have a handmade jewelry shop and pop up. I do a monthly newsletter. Create how do I create digital content or downloads? Well, what is the content, hun? You said you do jewelry, so I'm not sure how that relates to a newsletter. You have a newsletter, but it's so much information you're not giving me in that question that I'm gonna need you to help me out. Help me out on that one. Hey Simon, I am a copywriter, but I'm creating I keep forgetting to bring it over so everybody can see it, y'all. Hold on. And for the streaming software, check out OBS. You could do things like this on OBS. And OBS is free. OBS is not easy to learn, but it's free. Hey, Cinnamon, I'm a copywriter, and I'm creating a wellness course for women approaching 40 what I create at a total new audience and nurture the audience as you mentioned. Hold on. Approaching 40, would I create a totally new audience and nurture the audience as you mentioned before? I don't think I understand your question, love. Are you telling me that you already have the audience? Help me out on that. I'm sorry. Did anyone answer? This is also what I'm going to do, if you guys don't mind. When we do stuff like this, I'm not able to ask follow-up questions, and I feel like I'm talking to myself because I can only read what you type. So what I think I'm going to do, I don't know if I'm going to add a phone thing for Q&A so that we could talk, or Zoom. Zoom might be easier. So I might do a Zoom feed. So if you're on my list, I'll give you the Zoom link so you can ask it in there, because sometimes your questions, when you type them, I may not understand a part and I want you to immediately be able to tell me what you mean. But I got to go through chat and I got to find it. So let me know what your thoughts are on that. I'm thinking about adding like a phone Q&A, or I don't know. I haven't figured out how that's going to work tech-wise, but let me think about that. Thank you for the chat. Look forward to July 10th. Yes, July 10th. So July 10th, guys, for your Portugal folks, I don't have a link in the description, but I am going to do a closed Portugal conversation. We're doing it on Zoom. It will not be on YouTube. It will not be recorded, but I wanted the ability to be honest and tell people the real and true without having any issues. So if you're interested in that, it will be on Sunday. The link is somewhere. If you're on my list, I already sent you the email, so let's just do that. Thank you for this info. Helpful for me trying to figure out where to start. Great. Yes, I have an audience with a copywriting company. Oh, so are you telling me that the copywriting company, the topic is different than the topic you're currently going to discuss? If you were saying yes to that, then you absolutely need to create a new audience based on the information that you are discussing. Yes. Okay. Okay, let's see what we got here. Is it relevant to write a blog to super a YouTube channel by summing up key points of a video? Could it help the channel have a better... Yes. The answer is yes. The practicality of it is a little bit more challenging than you may know. Okay, so doing YouTube videos consistently is work. Doing a blog consistently is work. So what I would suggest, and everyone who's hearing my voice, find out the medium in which it's easier for you to convey what you want to say. Some people don't want to be on camera. I get it. Some people prefer to write. If you prefer to write, go ahead and focus on the blog, because it's going to be hard to be consistent enough for the algorithm to care to do it on both, unless you have help. Okay, if you have help and somebody can do the opposite of what you're doing, cool. But if that you don't have help, pick the platform that best works for you. Expect to not get paid and not receive any money for 6 months to a year. All right, listen to me, folks, because you're planting seeds. Okay, it doesn't happen immediately. All right. Expect to not get paid for 6 months to a year, but you still have to be consistent and put out content. All right. That's why a lot of people don't do this, because you don't see the rewards while you're doing it. Most people want to see rewards immediately. That's why people stick to like stuff like Instagram, because when they get a like, they're like, yay. But it's, it can be more challenging to get paid on Instagram, right? So let me stay focused on the question. All right. So yes, pick the format you want, create the content consistently. Now, once you create the content consistently, by that time, you probably have enough money to pay someone else to do the other half. So for example, let's say you're going to come on the YouTube channel and create the content. If you have a job or a day job, it's going to be real hard to balance both. So just create the YouTube content. YouTube will transcribe it once the video is up there. I'll show you how to do that. I'll put a video on. Yeah, I'll put a video up that shows you guys how to take your video, take the transcription from YouTube, and use 2 other softwares to kind of write it for you. Right? Follow me on that. That'll make it super easy for you to add the blog content onto your website. But it still is some work. So in theory, yes, if you have a blog to support your YouTube channel, will it help you in SEO? It will. But in its practicality of how long that will take without work is the other issue, which is why a lot of people don't do it. They outsource that. So yes, you can do it. Yes, it will work. The answer is yes. Thank you for the initial help. I'm trying to figure out where to start. Okay. Okay, Miss Charles, how are you? Where to start if you have no clue of what to create, or let me see. Let's see. Where to start if you have no clue of what to create, or if one is even creative. Okay. And that's fair. I know a lot of people think that they may not be creative or they don't know where to start. The first one is to start with your audience. All day long, folks, I'm always telling you, you got to start with your audience. You got to know who you're helping. You don't know who you're helping, you can't create content that's relevant to help those people, right? So when you determine who you want to help and be as specific as possible, because even if you say, oh, I want to help, we had someone here say writers. Writers come, do you want to help copywriters? Do you want to help people who want to get in magazines, high fashion magazines versus hardware store? You have to be super, super niche so that you can create yourself as an expert in that space and really help with your search engine optimization. It's super hard to go general and show up in search. But if you are saying that you are the woman who trains dragons in Ohio with crickets, promise you're going to show up. Fun fact, so there's this comedian called Ali Wong, I think that's her name. She is hilarious in my opinion, but she's a comedian, and last 2 sessions she was pregnant, and she's an Asian woman, right? And I wanted to see her session. I thought she was hilarious, and I wanted my friends to see it. So I Googled Asian comedians pregnant. Pop right up. She popped right up. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, you have to be able to be super specific so that people know that they need to work with you. So again, to answer your question, you have to determine who your audience is, communicate with the audience, find out what they need. Once you determine what they need, then you're able to create the product out of that, okay? Don't approach trying to make money by saying, well, how can I make money? Because you're not thinking about how you're going to help the people so that they would want to work with you to get the money. Does that make sense? Okay, so you may not think you're creative, but if you create a product, technically you're a creative. You created something. So when you think creative, don't think like you have to have you're this artist or you are a singer or anything like that. Being a creative means you created something out of thin air and here it is. And so if it was a course, if it was whatever your service is, then you're a creative. So don't even worry about that. Okay. Thought I was on your email list, not seeing the 710 event. Okay, if you are not on my email list, I sent the email yesterday. So if you didn't get an email from me yesterday, then you are not on my list. Check your spam if you feel like you signed up. So yeah, the 710 event is on Sunday. If you follow me on Instagram, I'll put the link afterwards. I don't know where the link is right now. I can't find a link because it's a Zoom link and I don't know where it is right now because my computer already sounds like it's about to explode. So if you follow me on Instagram, it's literally, the link is in my bio on Instagram. But yeah, that's when I'll be talking about Portugal during a Zoom class. Please do a Zoom. I think it would be helpful because these are good questions, but often the questions are not framed specifically enough. I agree. for meaningful answers. I agree. Okay. I will try to figure out how to pull that off technically. Okay. And yeah, so I'll do that. I think you're right. I just walked in, so I'm wondering if digital download products would help with online sales. Physically, I am exhausted doing pop ups 3 times a week. My newsletter covers events, news, items, and self care. News, items, and self care. What? Hold on, honey. It might be hard to monetize because you got a lot going on. Digital downloads will help me with online sales. Physically, I am sure. Oh, so you mean for what you're selling at the pop-ups? Did you tell me what you were selling at the pop-ups? Yeah, you're right. We're gonna figure out how to add some audio and bring you guys in because I have so many questions and I can't get you guys to answer them immediately. Physically, I'm exhausted. I understand that. Newsletter covering events, new items, and self-care tips. Those seem like all different topics. Because I don't get my self-care tips from any place where I get newsletter coverage events. So I'm super confused, hun. So yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna need you to get a little specific with me. I love to know how the software that converts a YouTube transcript into writing. Hold on, okay, it's not a software. YouTube does it. So can I share my screen? Give me a second. Y'all, hold on. Okay, what'd you say? Okay, so let me share my screen. Which one shares my screen? Nope, that ain't it. Which slide shares my screen? Is it this one? It is this one. Okay, so let me go to YouTube real quick. I will do it. I actually have a video queued for this too. Hold on. Make sure you guys can see my screen. Okay. Oh, look, my video's showing up. Oh, I'm live. Haha. That's so funny. It's showing that I'm live. Let me stay focused. Okay, let me just go on my channel real quick and show you what I am talking about. Let's pick any video. Let's pick this video. Let me mute it. Hold on. Sorry. Oops. Damn it. I was hitting the wrong button. Okay, so I want you to go here. See right here at the save button. Are you guys able to see that? Okay, yeah. Hit this button, and then it's going to say show transcript, right? This is the transcript of everything that was said, but it's not always accurate, okay? But so what you're going to do is take this, toggle off the timestamp, and then you're just going to copy all of this, right? And hit Command C if you have a Mac. If you got a Windows, I have no idea what y'all hit. So that's how you copy it. Oops, let me get this out the way. Sorry. That's how you copy it, right? Now, for me, I'll go live for like an hour. You see, I'm still here, right? So it can be it can be long. And the sentences sometimes don't make sense because the way you speak is not the way you would write, right? So I have some other software I'll show you. I already did a tutorial on this video. I just hadn't uploaded it. So I will upload that within a couple days, I promise, okay? And then that will show you the other software you can use. One's Jarvis and another one's, I can't think of it because I wasn't ready for it. Grammarly, that's what. And it'll show you how to do it, and it's super easy, and that can help you take your YouTube videos and quickly put them on your blog. But you get someone to read through it. I don't recommend you do that, especially if you got a job. It's a lot. Okay, so I hope that is helpful. Okay, so yeah, you don't need a software for that. YouTube does it for you automatically. YouTube automatically gives transcripts. You don't have to pay for that. There is software you can use to make it quicker so that you can make it into a concise, readable document, but it is not necessary. If you have the time on your hand, you could just go through it and edit it yourself. All right, I am watching on YouTube and see the link to the stream. Okay, wait. I'm watching on YouTube and see the link in this stream. Is it after the try out Thinkific? Which link are you talking about, love? I'm watching it. Yeah, which link are you talking about? What link are you looking for? It's so much going on in that description box. I don't know what to, I don't know what's in there. The private training. You mean the for the Portugal stuff, the Zoom Portugal thing? Is that what you're talking about? Example: some of the products that's essential oils. Okay. This makes much more sense. Thank you so much. Example: some of the products, essential oils, spray mist, diffuser earrings. So I cover self care of how to use essential oils. Okay, great. Okay, got it. Where is your content right now other than the newsletter? Is it there on the stream? Say it. Is it there on the stream? Is the private training, are you talking about consulting with me? If that's what you're talking about, then that's on my website, drewandspice.com, and then you click work with me. I don't know if that's what we're talking about. Earlier, they were talking about my going live about the Portugal stuff. That is the link that I didn't throw in the description because I forgot. So if you're talking about the Portugal stuff, if you're on my list, check the email I sent yesterday and it'll give you the Zoom link. If you are not, no, this is the answer to your live. Oh, shoot. What? No, this is the answer to your live. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what we're talking about anymore. All right, folks, if you don't have any more questions as this relates to your business, here is the time. Because when you send me emails, because I've been getting them, and you ask me, I usually don't have time to respond to the email because I'm working. But I make time to come on here live to answer your questions so that you can think about how you can apply certain things in your business. Hearing it back, I may need a niche. Yes, I love that. I love that. Okay, I may need a niche. You definitely do. Some customers want events and some enjoy new products and where to pick them up. Content, spoon in theory, handmade. Huh. Okay. Yes, niche. That will be your best bet. Somebody comes to wants events. If they want some events, you talking about virtual events or they want, here's the thing. Let me look, real talk. You can do your pop-ups online. Okay. So let's talk about this. If you have a way to accept payment online, even if you wanted to do on YouTube, let's say you wanted to do a live YouTube session, right? You can show your product, say what it is, put the name of it, put the link to purchase it in the description if someone's interested. Or you can put the link in the live. You could do a variety of different things. Your pop-ups don't have to have you there physically, okay? You could do, you could think outside the box and make you, a little virtual type of home shopping network. You know how much home shopping network make? Man, so think about it. I get going to a physical location and sell your physical products can be a lot, but you can also sell your physical products online. You can demonstrate how to use them live like this. Going live is free. I mean, unless you add software to the mix. So, all right, folks, I feel like we have reached the end of our questions. I hope this was helpful. I hope this helped you think outside the box so that you can consider how you can create additional revenue streams for your business, but using software to make the process easy, to accept payments, to create automation. Because when you take someone's money, things should happen. Things should happen immediately. They should immediately get an email and understand what needs. They need to have an experience, okay? So software will help you with that. And so this is how you can help yourself scale while still being small, okay? So it's been real. I'm supposed to do a Q&A tomorrow. Nope, Friday. Ask me anything. So you can ask me anything as it relates to Portugal or as it relates to online stuff. Now, I am going to a different part of Portugal, and I'm not sure how the internet's going to be. So I'm going to try to do it. If all of a sudden you don't see it there, then that's what happened, and my internet might have been strong enough. So that's supposed to be on Friday, I think at 4. So if you're on my list, you have questions, reply back to the email and sign up for OB Stokes. Do you stream through YouTube? Okay. Okay, when signing up for OBS Studio, do you need to stream through YouTube or other streaming services? You can stream wherever you want, hon. Wherever you want. It's a streaming platform, so you can stream wherever you want. Yeah, so you can do it in YouTube, you can do it in Facebook, however you want to work it. Thank you so much. I'm super late. We'll watch. Okay, what time? What, love? Thank you, Cinnamon. I appreciate that. Okay. All right, baby loves. It was good seeing you guys. For those of you who are interested in the Portugal stuff, I hope to see you on Sunday. It will be on Zoom. It will not be on YouTube. And I think that about wraps it up. So, till next time.